The debate was on last night. Did you even watch it? I didn't. Let's talk about it.
Facts over tracks, isn't that spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
Yesterday, we talked about a major problem that might lead to the end of America as we know it, but of course, no one cares. Instead, they would rather be a DINK, a dual income, no kid. Their word, not mine. That is why, while I talked about DINKs, and the people that do not want to repopulate and continue our whole entire civilization as we know it, Republicans running for second place to become president, were debating in yet another useless undercard debate. Of course, you can be the winner of all the losers, but we all know at this point, no one on that stage has a chance of becoming the next president. Sorry, not sorry. If I could change it, I would. But I can't. All I can do is I can accept and talk about the fact that I thought differently a few weeks ago. Looking at the polls, I didn't see anything changing, and I don't see anything changing from this point onward. If it does, then it would have to be very drastic, and it would have to happen ASAP. Nonetheless, it would still be nice to hear at least some of them warn that America has to pull its head out of its rear and do what needs to be done. What's that? It's replacing the people that are dying every year with new babies, and it's replacing the generation that we are in now. This is called repopulating. It's so that our civilization can continue on and on without us worrying about extinction. We can all sit here and say that the candidates should have and would have, and they should have did this and they would have did that and blah, 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 but that doesn't change anything. I know that. Still, they didn't mention one, the population problem, or two, the biggest thing contributing to our debt crisis in America, which is Social Security. These two things need to be talked about, or else we don't have a civilization as we know it, and we don't have an America as we know it. The former of which, we would need to have more babies, and for the latter, we would need to stop fooling around in Congress. Take, for example, a few weeks ago, Kevin McCarthy was playing tag with another congressman. Can we grow up already? We need to pass this bill in Congress and get protection for this great country starting at our southern border. This exact bill came up in Congress, but it is still being rejected because it protects our southern border. Like I said yesterday, if we do not act now, there will be a huge population problem in the coming years. Of course, there's still going to be billions of people on this earth, but American citizens who were here for generations and generations would cease to exist for the aspirational weekend shopping trip at Costco.
Why is nobody talking about being dinks? Well, I'm freshly married and I'm going to talk about it. Here's our life as dinks in our early 30s. No shocker here, folks. Today we went to Costco.
Another thing that annoyed me about the debate is that we just keep witnessing the fact that the Republican debates are on the mainstream news. We all know that the people do not trust the mainstream media, much less Fox News. The reason why they don't trust the mainstream media is because of the fact that there was a lot of different things that happened from 2020 to 2023 that showed what their true colors are. Whether it be allowing transgender guys to enter women's bathrooms, while at the same time Fox News is hosting shows suspiciously disagreeing that this should even be a thing to begin with. Again and again. The mainstream media has shown that it does not care about someone that has the opposite opinion whatsoever, or about their eagerness to run over Megyn Kelly or Tucker Carlson, then back up and run them over again. They never miss an opportunity to stab the people that have been supporting them for the longest time in the back. But that's not even the biggest problem. I would have just ignored everything if it were a few years ago, and what they said in the debates actually mattered, but it doesn't. We all know everyone has their 30-second prepared monologue, just like their 1-minute monologue, and so on and so on. They know what they're doing for the debate because it's highly planned. What we need is a Joe Rogan style debate, where all of them are just sitting in a normal room, having a conversation about what they actually believe on for about 6 hours, so we can get a stronghold on what they actually believe. And, of course, Joe Rogan being the moderator. A man can only dream, but for now, we have to face the sad reality that the GOP is allowing their next two debates on the opposing social media network, CNN. Can I ask you for a second about the last time a Democrat went on a Republican-leaning network and hosted their debate? They wouldn't. And that would be suicidal if they did. Also, look at the polls. Now you can say whatever you want about the polls. If it doesn't matter, if it does matter, if we can trust it, if we can't trust it doesn't matter either way. It's the only way we can actually tell where people are actually standing on the race. And if you have any other way, please let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't watched it, I'm with you. It was on a network called News Nation, even though I thought that the viewership couldn't get any lower than what it was on Fox News. Here on News Nation, it's actually ready to show off its skill of having the bare minimum of people. The bare minimum of people were not even actually watching it from the very beginning. Obviously, people are seeing what Trump is doing a lot more than what they're actually going to see the debate for, and the debate doesn't even matter because, like I said, all of these people are arguing with each other and debating each other and fighting each other to be second place. It's the biggest undercard debate of the season. Buckle up because we have 2 more coming in the works. With that being said, let's dig into the headlines of the week. Starting off, we actually have a Daily Wire article. We have war-torn board demands Penn resident Liz Miguel resign over horrifying remarks. We actually played these remarks yesterday, and I think that she's came out and apologized since then because so many people have been attacking her. Oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Listen, I have zero sympathy for this lady right here. She's actively sitting here dehumanizing people on the week of Hanukkah. On the week of Hanukkah, and by the way, yesterday was the first day of Hanukkah, so happy Hanukkah. On the first week of Hanukkah, this girl is over here disrespecting Israelites. They're disrespecting the people that are living in Israel, celebrating their religion, celebrating their faith, celebrating their culture, because of the fact that, why? You want to have a talking point so the left can go back and celebrate you? The left does not matter, okay? The left does not matter. The left is only going to run you over just like Fox News ran over everybody that they do not like. And they do this again and again, no matter who you are. So, continuing with the article, or starting with the article, I should say, the powerful board of Penn's Wharton Business School is calling on a University of Pennsylvania president Liz Miguel to resign over disturbing remarks that she's made this week while testifying before Congress. We actually played this yesterday. Miguel did not say during her testimony before the Committee on Education and the Workforce that calling for genocide of Jews would violate the school's code of conduct on bullying and harassment unless the speech turns into quote-unquote conduct. Conduct, meaning committing the act of genocide, Rep. Elsie Stenfreak, Republican from New York, fired back. The speech is not harassment. This is unacceptable. University of Pennsylvania's Board of Trustees held an emergency meeting on Thursday to address the continued fallout from Miguel's disastrous remarks. The Wharton Board of Advisors has been and remains deeply concerned about the dangerous and toxic culture on our campus that has been led by a select group of students and facility that has been permitted by the university's leadership. The board said in a letter to Miguel, quote, as confirmed in your congressional testimony yesterday, the leadership of the university does not share the values of our board, nor does it appear to understand the urgency to address the safety of our students on campus and the ongoing reputational damage to the university by the university's policies and actions. Quote, as a result of the university's leadership's stated beliefs and collective failure to act, our board respectfully suggests to you and the Board of Trustees that the university requires new leadership with immediate effect, the letter later added. Now, there's a whole entire letter here. I'm actually going to read the whole entire letter because this is actually from the Board of Advisors. So let's read this whole entire thing right here. Board of Trustees, dear Liz, as we have shared with you when you met with a subset of the Wharton Board of Advisors, the board, formerly the Board of Overseers, last week, November 28th, 2023, our board has been and remains deeply concerned about the dangerous and toxic culture on our campus that has been led by a select group of students and facility and has been permitted by the university's leadership. As confirmed in your congressional testimony yesterday, the leadership of the university does not share the values of our board, nor does it appear to understand the urgency to address the safety of our students on campus and the ongoing damage to the university and the university's policies and actions. Our board has held an unprecedented 8 extraordinary sessions since our scheduled wonton fall meeting on November 16, 2023. Each of these meetings was attached by a majority of the board, and the matters discussed at each session focused mostly pressing on the safety of our students and our community, as impacted by the current state of affairs at the university surrounding the terrorist attacks on Israel, the war in Gaza, and the resulting anti-Semitic and the hate-based behavior on the campus. As you know, long before the congressional hearing, the board has felt so strongly about these issues that we've drafted a set of resolutions that we believed were essential, and they should be promptly adopted by the wonton and the parent University of Pennsylvania regarding conduct on campus, and leadership of the university, see attached. We delivered these resolutions to you more than 2 weeks ago. Our resolutions directly address the issue, among other matters, and now it's become clear to all our university chooses to maintain policies that do not protect our students and our community. We have purposely chosen to communicate with you directly and privately in order to be constructive force and a partner to the university leadership in addressing these challenging issues. We have also recognized that a certain of our recommendations would take time, with others would require significant efforts or regular structural changes. We have further expressed our appreciation for the significant demands on your time and the increased workload this crisis has placed on your entire administration. Nonetheless, we have constantly stated that the issues on campus required immediate attention. In light of your testimony yesterday before Congress, we demand the university clarify its position regarding any call to harm to any group of people immediately, change any policies that allow such conduct with immediate effect, and discipline all offenders exponentially. Further, as a result of the university's leadership's stated beliefs and collective failure to act, our board respectfully suggests to you and the Board of Trustees that the university requires new leadership with immediate effect. Our board consists of a number of long-term committed members to the Penn community, all of whom have dedicated substantial time and resources to Penn since graduation. As a board that has been created by the university and tasked with the university with providing advice in council, we formally request to you that you and the Board of Trustees consider the safety of our students and the reputation of our great university to take these actions at tomorrow's executive committee of the Board of Trustees. We welcome direct engagement with the Board of Trustees on these matters. Best regards, Board of Directors. So she's just getting called out right here. They're telling her, nope, you need to step down. That's the only acceptable answer because you have failed us for the last time. So, moving with the regular article, Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro said last week, quote, leaders have a responsibility to speak and act with moral clarity, and Liz Miguel failed to meet that simple test. This was an unacceptable statement from the president of Pennsylvania, the president of Penn. Shapiro continued, frankly, I thought that her comments were absolutely shameful, and it should not be hard to condemn genocide. Of course, and when she's sitting here making the classic excuses, oh, well, it's only genocide when you're actually doing the action. What does that even mean? When you're actually committing genocide, then you're going to care, but if you're not committing genocide, and you're just saying that you want to commit genocide, then it's a problem? Come on now. Can we stop pretending as if these are two different things? They're not two different things. It's the same exact thing. Moving into the next article, we actually have a Daily Wire article. We have Tennessee Republican introduces age verification bill to protect children from porn. A Tennessee Republican has introduced an age verification bill intended to protect children from being exposed to pornography. On Wednesday, Rep. Patsy Hazelwood of Signal Mountain introduced the Protect Tennessee Minors Act, which would require online pornography distributors to put in place age verification measures to ensure that children are unable to access the explicit content. Quote, exposing children to pornography is a form of child sexual abuse and exploitation that can severely damage a child's intellectual development and emotional well-being. It could lead to difficulty in forming and maintaining positive relationships, says Hazelwood, the chair of the House Finance Ways and Means Committee. The legislation will apply the same safeguards and restrictions to the online world that we already have in place in the physical world. The standard should be the same, and I completely agree. The proposed bill is similar to legislation that has been passed in other states like Virginia and Utah, where age verification measures have been implemented. In response, Pornhub blocked access to the site for both Virginia and Utah. Hazelwood's bill would require companies to match a photograph of a user to a United States photo ID. Websites who do not require age verification could be charged in a Class C felony, which could mean up to 15 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. My top priority is the safety and the health of my children, said Jacob Levy, a Tennessee tech industry executive. Quote, pornography is a disaster. Modernizing existing laws to require age verification will protect children from it and help the internet stay digital, not degenerate. In 2017, Tennessee lawmakers passed a resolution that designed pornography as a public health hazard. Quote, pornography treats women and children as objects and there often depicts rape and abuse as if they were harmless. Moreover, pornography equates violence towards women and children with sex and pain with pleasure, which increases the demand for sex trafficking, prostitution, and child sexual abuse images / child pornography, the resolution said. Exodus Cry, a Christian nonprofit that works to help women and children impacted by sex trafficking, has previously praised the enrichment of age verification laws. Quote, the less Pornhub is accessible, the better. The age verification laws have been taking some time coming, and we're celebrating every state that moves to protect children from the violent, dehumanizing porn that saturates the online world, the organization said on Instagram. And I can't believe that people actually sit here and actually say, oh no, well, that's actually just the people world, that you have to actually have verification to go in the back of Spencer's to buy a dildo or whatever the heck that you want to buy. You need to have an ID here. So why is it that online you think that you can just have free will to do whatever you want? No. If you want to gamble online, you need to show your ID. If you need to buy a alcoholic beverage at a store, you need to show your ID. If you need a lottery ticket and if you are my age, you need to show your ID. It's just so simple. There's so many things you need to show your ID for. Just show your ID. If you're so scared about your privacy being violated, then don't view the website at all. Moving into the next article, we actually have another Daily Wire article. We have So Effing Stupid. Bill Barr slams Jimmy Kimmel while on his show. Bill Barr slammed Jimmy Kimmel while appearing on his show and said that talk show hosts like Jimmy Kimmel should just shut up and stop talking about narcissistic former President Donald Trump. During the 55-year-old actor-comedian's appearance on Tuesday, the ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live, Burr directed the conversation towards the 2024 election and blasted liberals for the numerous incidents of the former president, which he said has only given Trump new political life. You want to see a great case thing on narcissism? Burr said, liberals are so effing stupid. The way that they handle Trump. Kimmel pressed the comedian and asked what he meant by his comment. Quote, you should just shut up, the comedian replied. Trump is a narcissist. Natural energy, natural. Kimmel said, you think he'd go away if we'd stop? And he says, you know what I think? He's a one-hit wonder, Burr replied, comparing Trump to a songwriter of The Twist, Hank Bullard. Trump wrote The Twist, and that was it. He was the casino circuit. Quote, and then you idiot liberals wrote him Twist again when you indicted him, he added, and now he's a martyr. He's coming back, Jimmy, and he's coming back. He's going to be great for comedy. He's coming back. The old dad star then lamented the current choices for president between frontrunner Republican presidential candidate Trump and President Joe Biden. Quote, I can't believe these are honestly going to be our two choices, Burr told the host. I want somebody in their 40s, somebody that's going to have live life with their decision. I completely agree. But it's not my choice. It's not your choice. It's the majority of America's choice. Quote, with any luck, they'd both die of natural causes before the election, and maybe you can get somebody that is still going to live for, he added. Biden turned 81 last month, and the oldest sitting president in American history, the AP News noted. Trump will be 78 when voters go to the polls in November 2024, and would be older than Biden at the end of his four-year term if voters send a 45th president back to the White House. So yeah, but obviously there's a difference in age. Age is obviously just a number, but on top of that, you can see how you're actually acting in real life, and if he's acting a hell of a lot better, then there's no comparison. Moving into the last article, we actually have a Daily Wire article. We have Hunter Biden hit with 9 new criminal charges. President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was hit with numerous felony charges on Thursday night, stemming from a federal investigation into his taxes. CNN reported that Hunter was hit with 9 counts of charges that include failure to pay and file taxes, evasion of assessment, and failure in false or fraudulent tax return. Special counsel David Weiss recently impaneled a federal grand jury in Los Angeles that was raiding evidence related to the potential tax crimes. The defendant engaged in a 4-year scheme to not pay at least $1.4 million in self-assessed federal taxes he owed for taxes years 2016 through 2019. Prosecutors said in court documents, adding that he was willfully failed to pay the overdue taxes, despite having access to funds to pay some or all of the taxes. Prosecutors said that Hunter Biden made a $7 million during that time span, which included money that he received for Burisma, CEFC, China Energy, and others. Between 2016 and 2016 and October 15, 2022, the defendant spent this money on drugs, escorts, and girlfriends, luxury hotels and rental properties, exotic cars, clothing, and other items of the personal nature. In short, everything but his taxes, prosecutors said. Hunter Biden was indicted on federal gun charges in September after the prosecutors and Hunter Biden's legal team failed to reach an agreement on a plea deal that fell apart in August. The assessment fell apart after the United States District Judge Marilyn Noreika questioned the limits of the Hunter Biden immunity under the deal. Hunter Biden was charged with 3 crimes related false statements made on a political application to purchase a firearm. These charges relate to a time when, in October 18, Hunter claimed he was clean of drugs. He later wrote in his memoir that he was addicted to crack cocaine at the time, and that he was actually going inside of the carpets and he was trying to find Parmesan cheese. That's what he admitted himself. His words, not mine. But with that being said, we're going to be summing up this episode here. If you did like this episode and you do want to see more, please click the link down below, because I do post new episodes of the show every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you all for watching, and I hope they have a great rest of your day. Bye.